Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. This looks close to a bingo, but do I have one? I've got the 4 prefix, but I'm not seeing a bingo. But if I play just 4, then the rack leave is pretty good. And I prefer short words on my opening play. I'm going with this. Fantastic. I draw the blank. I'm surely bingoing now. Too many bingos to mention, but let me just say 1, declare. But there are plenty of others. However, if opponent makes an overlapping play, all of the available lines may change. But suppose they don't. Do I have anything beginning or ending with O? I think overclad is good. And that would be nice. It would get the C doubled. So will that stay available? And is it good? Not seeing anything ending in O. 4 takes a number of hooks at the end. Okay, hatch takes an I at the end, so I could play Radicel, but surely Overclad scores most. Fantastic, 89 points. It is good. And I draw the K, which is a good scoring tile. Rest of the rack, slightly problematic with duplicates and the U, so I don't think this is close enough for a bingo. Nuke, spelt 2 ways, is good. No I for Hadge. Just wondering where my U can play. What about the C? That has some K synergy. I've got the un prefix. Double lane in row K. So I have the neuro prefix in that spot. Great, just 25 for opponent. Ford takes an O. Interesting, so I could play Kino for 32 points. Pretty decent, and this rack leave isn't terrible. I'm retaining an E, and the N helps the U. I could play this 1 square higher up and play Kino K double E N-O. But then opponent would have a hotter spot in column 12. And the E is useful even though it's making the rack leave slightly vowel heavy. Yeah, I'm going with this. Oh, wow, look at this. I draw the second blank through, well, an M or an A. I would have Movane. So at the moment, I have Movane doubled and getting the V tripled. Wow, what a dream scenario if that stays available. I've also got unenvied onto the D, which might be a better play. Well, let me have a look at scores. So, this is what I'm saying. 86 points for Movane, which I think takes an S. That was 86. This is 83. Wow. I think this position is probably better. And I think unveined is slightly better than unenvied, if it's good. And it is. Wow. Well, having switched the I from being under the triple letter square to avoid providing a hot Q spot, I do, of course, draw the Q. But I have a healthy lead, and there are spots available to offload the Q. I've got Chi. Oh, wow. Well, yeah, opponent has 2 S's, so Movane may have set them up for a nice one, but a good bingo by opponent. My lead now just 60 points, looking a lot less comfortable. So, do I need to do anything about this S? I could play cheese. 22 points. Leaving C and W. Through a C, I would have Wicken and Wicker, but those plays aren't getting doubled and they retain the Q. Q here, 27 points. I'm better off playing here, stopping opponent from scoring well in column 15. I'm not seeing anything great with my C and W or the rest of my rack in column 15 or in row O. Yeah, and this is dampening down on the hotness, which I probably want to do since my lead is so slender. And I do have vowels to help play off these scoring tiles next turn. I feel slightly uneasy here that I'm missing something a lot better. But, well, it hasn't come to mind. And I play the Q and draw the U, of course. So I've now got the UW combo, which is pretty grim. How well has opponent drawn after their bingo? What am I going? Oh, well, they've drawn another bingo. Gosh. So my lead now just 13 points. I was in a very comfortable position, but then 2 back-to-back bingos by opponent. And this is a tricky rack. It was tricky last time, and it remains so. So only my U can go next to the P. Oh, yes. Oh, no, I thought I had Wairua, but that's... The word is good, but I would need 2 A's. So... Do I have anything ending in U? Or UA? Gosh, I have war on my rack, WAUR, but that doesn't work. I have Curia. What about a play in row H? Wow, what a sequence of turns for opponent. Okay, what about playing to the right of Pierre-Eugène and putting my I here? Curia doesn't play. Auric doesn't play. Maybe I should leave that alone. So, are there any A's available for Wairua? Don't think so. Wow, you'd think vowels would help with getting rid of scoring tiles, but I'm seeing very slim pickings with this rack. So, what about doing this, Corey? Turning over tiles, taking out the triple word danger, and splitting up W and U. I'm going with this. Okay, that looks a lot nicer. But I don't have a bingo. But if I play the W off, then I could leave a decent rack leave. I have ING on my rack. Iwi initially looks attractive, and maybe the play, even though it's splitting up ING. Not a great board for ING plays. And an alternative to Iwi would be WAI. I'm looking to play either of those parallel to Arsheens, and I'm not seeing them fitting. I have AWE, but that leaves double I, which I certainly don't want. Now, I have coring in row D. Oh, 45 points for opponent, and now I trail. Good grief. What a game. pig is good. So I could play gwine. Let me see what that scores. 30 points, pretty decent. Only 2 I's to come. 2 S's to come, so I'm setting up an S lane. 30 points. 28 points, EI slightly nicer. And I could make the same play down here. Yeah, I think it's easier for opponent to score off coring. Or is it? I'm providing this X spot for XU and XI. But is coring the play? What about aping? Well, horrible rack leave and no improvement on score. What about opportunities provided by opponent? ZOA, nothing great there. 12 minutes on my clock. For doing is good, doesn't quite reach the triple. So I was thinking about EWE and WAI. But I'm just not seeing anywhere for either of those. I'm not looking to turn over lots of tiles in the sense that both blanks have gone. And although ING or AEGN would be good rack leaves, I'm not seeing any way of making a move which would leave that rack leave. So I'm going with coring for 28. And I draw another scoring tile, which is good. It means I should be looking for a score in the 20s or 30s. And, well, look at this lead, just 7 points. Great, just 5 for opponent, but it suggests they're holding on to a monster. Now, not much I can do about that. But I can try and extract value from the F. And where are the bingo lanes opponent might be playing through? Just the floating C of Overclad, or possibly the E of Arsheens. And do I have a bingo with that C? No. And certainly not with the E. Still 1 T to come. It would be nice to split up this duplicate T. But not at the expense of retaining duplicate I. Can I get my F doubled? Playing onto this E? No, and it would be opening up a new lane. Wow, tricky spot. What about a play from the C, which would take out both lanes? But I have to be careful because my lead is only 2 points, and opponents signalled they've got a strong leave. If I close down the board too much, it may be me who needs the bingo, not opponent. So what about playing just if for 23 points? This is quite a good 5-letter set. 23 points is decent. This play doesn't feel stellar. KY takes an E. Yeah, but if opponents doesn't have a bingo, they might be minded to open the board up, and this is a very resilient 5-letter rack cleave. I'm going with this. Okay, I draw another scoring tile, which is good. Opponent trails by 25, and they've just scored 5 points. What have they got? Are they going to bingo onto this E or through the C? If they do, maybe I should have thought harder about blocking, but no, 34 points for Zooey, so I'm back to trailing. Interesting, opponents provided a really nice B spot. It's very natural to look at the new opportunities opponents created and to play there quickly. But what are my options? Well, let me first of all see what opponents provided. 29 points, which is decent, and a good rack leave. Only 1 tee to come. Plus beer sets up nothing. Just wondering if there's a longer play beginning with the R, but there isn't. So what if opponent hadn't played Zooey? What would I have done? Well, opponent's obstructed the C, which is good. C is no longer a bingo floater, but this E of Arsheens is a nice one. Yeah, I could play Bitty if I had another I. But any play taking out that E is going to create a new lane. If I had a C or a V, that might be a more attractive option. So let's just play the 29-point play, which is a decent score. Now, a nice balanced rack, and again, I'm fortunate to draw a scoring tile. I lead by 20. I guess a play in row M would be one way of taking out this E. Oh, okay, opponents opened things up. New floaters, B and L. And I guess if I'd been able to take out this E, I could just block this, but now opponents has basically created lanes in different parts of the board. But could I have a bingo myself? 7 minutes on my clock. Floating B, Boatman, only uses 1 T. What about an L? What about toe mental? Don't think this is good, but it's void challenge. And it's not good. Could there be a valid anagram? Tormentor is good, it just doesn't take an L. Allotment is 2 L's. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything there. Floating E. No. Okay, so I'm looking to get value from the M. And I was originally contemplating playing in row M above Arsheens. Maybe something like this for 20. Taking out that bingo lane. Leaving available floating B and L, not particularly useful. And if opponent doesn't create a new lane next turn, that's available for taking out. Just doesn't feel particularly good. Only 20 points is fairly minimalistic. Can I do better? Just looking in row E to see if I can slot something in. Get value from the W, but I'm not seeing anything. No more value available from the Z. Still an X to come, but that's it in terms of the big tiles or the blanks. Still 2 S's to come. 5 minutes on my clock. Neff is good. Ahi is good. So I could play Ant for 22, retaining the scoring tile. I think that's better than playing Moi. Yeah, I am going with this. Oh, I draw the V. V and G, pretty ugly combo. But I can play Vlog, which dampens down the volatility at the top. Look at this, only 15 minutes. Still 15 minutes on opponent's clock. They've been playing very quickly. And now, 36 points for opponent, which is good. I trail by 15. However, I have got Gov in this spot for 29 and a decent rack leave. I'm going with this. Oh, slightly too many A's. Otherwise, this is pretty good. And if you take out UUW, what's left is bingo-y, but surely opponent has something in UUW. However, they only played off 2 tiles, so they may not. But all of the bingo lanes at the top have been taken out. What remains is KYE. But if opponent's got a bingo beginning with E, well, there surely aren't many of those. Emptions, perhaps? Emption, rather. I lead by 14. Maybe the greater danger is opponent outrunning me. They've been scoring very solidly. I think it was just the tut play where they slowed down for a moment. TE available for 9s. I suspect there are some 8s or 9s with this rack. I'm not seeing a 7. Now, fortunately, I retained the M for score. It's really dry when you've got 7 1-pointers and no bingo. It can be a struggle to score, but if you've got an M, well, maybe there's some hope for a bigger score. Now, only my E can go underneath the W, so I don't think that's going to be my optimal spot. Hadji takes an S, so still 2 S's to come. So that's a 30 or 40 point spot. I'm not seeing anything through PI. Tut takes a U. Oh, 27 for opponent. Well, that could have been worse, and they have taken out the bingo lane. However, I trail by 13. Only 2 tiles in the bag. U and W to come. 3 minutes on my clock, and it's absolutely essential that I try and score at least 20 here. Kai takes a U as well as an E. 2 tiles left. I could play Matt for 16. Suid takes an S. 16 points. Can I need to play fairly quickly to give myself some thinking time in the end game. I could play metal for 20. Turning over 1 more tile, increasing my chances of going out in 1. I have Malate on my rack. 2 minutes on my clock. Ma for 16, keeping late. This feels pretty balanced. I'm going with this. Okay, so I have lunated. Do I? Don't think there's enough space. No. So I don't think I'm going out in 1. Opponent's got scoring tiles W, M, and P, and I've only got 1-pointers. I trail by 3. Eluent. Unlated, not good. Undealt doesn't fit. All is good. I've got LA. I may be able to go out in 2 with this rack, but it's opponents on turn, so I think they have the advantage. Unless I can find an out in 1. Wow, nice play, 42 points. Opponent leads by 39. 2-2 is good. 12 minutes on opponent's clock. Opponent's surely going out with EM. They got M and Kai. They've got me, my, and Ed. So my race is run. Even if I could go out in 1 here, which I can't. Ulna for 15. I'm not seeing anything greater than that, and I am getting value from the K and the Y. Ulni for 17. Ulnated, not good, I'm sure. But even if it was, it wouldn't win the game. Great score of 42 for opponent. Burning W and P. Oh well. And even if I played Matt, they would have had swap. Anything better than Ulni? I don't think so. And the final score, 417 for me, 456 for opponent, a winning margin of 39 points, so well done to opponent. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a game. Swings and roundabouts. So, it was me to go first, no bingo. Floor of a 24, but I prefer the shorter play. I was keeping a decent 4-letter set. 31 for opponent, and now a dream rack, and I have overclad for 89. No bingo for opponent. They played Delhi. I thought about Keno, but preferred to retain the E and played Keno. Opponent's rack, no bingo. They played Try. And now look at this. I have Movane, Unenvied, etc. So I make one of these 86-point plays, and at this point, I'm 140 points in front, and everything is going swimmingly. But opponent finds their only bingo of Arsheens, and suddenly my lead is looking far less good. This was a super tricky rack, because if I play the Q, I'm leaving myself with C and W, and, well, all options leave an unattractive rack leave, and only one score over, or only a couple of scores over 30, both retaining the Q. So I go with cheese for 22, slightly less than the other chi options, just to deny opponent column 15. And I think they would have had pierogies onto the S. But they do have Pierre Gen back-to-back bingo. And suddenly my lead has disappeared. I'm stuck with an awful rack. Curie E, I13. C play onto the E. Yeah, that's using the same tiles as my play. However, my play was only 12 points, whereas Curie E was 22. M11, Core, Ch, A, E, and W for 35 may have been the play, despite the rack lead, just because the score is so high. But one of the reasons for playing Corey was taking out some of the danger here. An opponent would have had Zoa, Op, and AI. So opponent's rack, they play Tsar. My rack's slightly improving. Zowie, that's nice. Gain is a decent rack leave. So I play Coring for 28, keeping EI, but Zowie for 34 would have been better. Opponent plays Tut. From this rack, keeping EO double ST. Wow, nice rack leave. My lead, just 2 points. 26 points, not a great score, and a pretty awful rack leave. So I play if for 23. Yeah, which isn't far off these scores, and the rack leave is slightly better. Now, opponent with these 2 S's, no bingo, plays Zooey. Bear available. Well, these are all the same play, these 29-point plays. I play beer for 29. Yeah. Maybe 4 A's to come, 1 I. Maybe bear would have been better with that in mind. Now, opponent running into vowel problems. Plays blog. So what are they keeping? DSST. Okay, nothing fabulous, no vowels. Now, did I miss something? No, I did not. As in, no missed bingo. I play ant for 22, keeping moat, and I think that compares favourably with the other options. Opponent's rack improving with some vowels, and they play ox. So now I trail by 15, but I have gov for 29 and a decent rack leave, so I feel it's anyone's game. Wow, look at this. I lead by 14, and opponent's got W and U. This is where they play Suid, getting rid of one of those 2 bad tiles. And now I trail by 13 with 2 in the bag. What to do? M1 Agma. Okay, that's quite nice. But with 2 in the bag, I knew I was going to empty the bag, in which case it's quite nice to play more tiles to increase your chances of going out in 1. So I went with Ma for 16, which of course with hindsight set up swapped, but with only 2 in the bag, swapped was foreseeable. So maybe Agmar would have been better. C12, Trimar, that's also nice. Yeah, very tricky. Anyway, I play Ma, which is a dream for opponents. They have a choice of row B plays. But even if they hadn't, well, in fact, all of these options are based off Ma, so it's difficult to see what alternatives they would have had. But it looks like that secured the win. They're now 39 points ahead. No out for me. I play Ulni for 17, but E5. Power is good, so I could have played Ale for 30. But opponent would still have led by 9 and could go out with EM, which they do. So, wow, what a game. Such a fantastic start with Overclad Unveined, both blanks. I was 150 points ahead, and opponent just came back at me with Arsheens and Peeragen back-to-back bingos, and then consistently solid scoring. So, desperate stuff and unable to prevail in the end, but super fun battle as always. So many thanks to opponent for a good battle. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.